guys, what is up? It's Lewis. Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd do a different kind of video. I've never done a video like this ever in my history of being on YouTube, and I guess a majority of my channel is just beauty and fashion and singing videos, and you never really get to learn anything about me. So I thought I'd maybe start doing a couple of story times over on my channel because it gets you to learn a bit about me, and also I always find these videos so interesting to watch on YouTube, and I've seen a few people do them before. I have a couple more stories, so if you guys like this one, be sure to give it a thumbs up so I know you guys like it. And yeah, I have like 3 or 4 more stories, so I can always post those as well. But today I'm going to be talking about this time that me and my friend Frankie, you may know her, she's been in a couple of my videos before, but we almost got mugged. If you're from America and you don't know what mugged is, I don't know if mugged's like a term in America, but it's basically like coming up on the street and like getting your stuff stolen. For some reason we were in Leicester Square, which if you don't know what that is, it's a place in London where it's quite lively at night. There's like casinos and nightclubs and bars and stuff like that, and it's quite a hot spot, I would say. But yeah, we were there at like 10:30 at night. I can't really remember why, but I remember we went shopping during the day. This was like 2 months ago, by the way, I forgot to say. And we came out and there was a tube strike on, so we couldn't get the tube home, which is what we normally would do. And we were a bit like, okay, I guess we'll just have to get a taxi, even though a taxi from here will be like £30, but we'll just have to, like, it's our only way to get home. We were walking around Covent Garden and Leicester Square for like half an hour looking for a taxi, and literally we just couldn't find any because all the taxis were booked up because of the tube strike, obviously, so like everyone was getting taxis, so it was really hard to find a taxi. So because we couldn't find a taxi, we kind of freaked out a bit, and it was like 11 o'clock at night and we had never been in London on our own this late before. We found this like corner shop kind of thing, like, you know, the ones that like just sell like food and like alcohol and stuff, and there was a mini cab sign on the door. If you don't know what a mini cab is, it's basically like an unregistered taxi, so people offer to drive people around. So just like your everyday average person would be like, yeah, I will do a taxi service, if you get what I mean. So basically they're a taxi, but they're not like registered and they're just driving around in their normal cars. And I was really uncertain whether I wanted to do this because I'd heard so many like mini cab horror stories before about people like getting their stuff stolen and just stuff and like raped and stuff like that. So we were really uncertain whether we wanted to go in this, but it was literally our only way of getting home, so we had to. We joined the queue, which was pretty big just because of there being a tube strike. It was so like weird because it was like 11:30 at night around about, and we were like, people kept coming in and out and they just kept giving us like dirty looks because everybody else who was waiting for a taxi were like coming home from like a date or like a night out, and we were just like 2 like 15-16-year-olds with like all their shopping bags, so everyone was kind of just like, what are you doing here, and like staring us up and down, which made me like really uncomfortable. But eventually the minicab came and we told them the address, and I could tell straight away that he had no idea where my house was. He kept like asking me like every like 30 seconds, and which road is that on, and which road is this, and how do you get there from this, and I just knew that he had no idea. And I was like, do you know where you're going? And he's like, yeah, I know where I'm going. And I was like, And my parents weren't home, they were actually in Scotland, and so were my 2 brothers, so I was staying at the house on my own, obviously with Frankie because she was coming back to my house. Frankie actually got maps up on her phone and typed in my address so she could see if like they were taking us the route that like was on the maps. Usually a taxi from Leicester Square to my house will take about 20 to 30 minutes, and after 30 minutes we were still not there, and I like was looking out the window and I literally did not have a clue where we were. After like sitting there nervously, and my phone had died, by the way, because my iPhone battery is so bad because I charge it overnight and I use it all day and the battery is literally dead, and Frankie had about 10% left on her phone, but she had it on airplane mode in case we needed to call one of our parents. We would have like that last little bit of percentage to call them, so we didn't want to like use that. 10 minutes later he was kind of a bit like, I don't know how to get here from there, you're gonna have to walk the rest of the way, I don't want to drive in there and not be able to get back out. We were like, what? We have no idea where we are in the middle of freaking London. At least Leicester Square, I knew the place and I'd been there lots of times. I had no clue where I was. Both of our phones were practically dead. We had all this shopping. It was like 11:30, 12 at night, and he was just like, yeah, get out. And we were like, so we started to walk in what we thought was the right direction. We just kind of followed where people were walking, where cars were going, and we asked, I think, one person, but I really didn't want to ask anyone because it was midnight and it was like a Thursday or Friday night, so there was quite a lot of people out, and I just like didn't want to. Eventually, like after like 10 or 20 minutes of walking, we found my local tube stop, and oh my god, we just felt so relieved because we knew how to get to my house from there. The walk from my house to my tube's roughly about 10-15 minutes depending on how fast you're walking. When we got like halfway there, these two men started to walk towards us. I didn't notice at first, but Frankie said that she did notice them start to walk towards us. When they got closer, they shouted like good evening at us, but kind of in like a drunkly way. I just presumed they were drunk and they were just like messing about, so I said like good evening back in the same kind of fashion. These people were like in their like late teens, early 20s, by the way, so there's quite a lot of people like that age walking around London on a Friday night anyways, like after having a night out, so they would be drunk, so I just assumed that they were one of them. And they then started to walk towards us, which was the biggest regret, me saying good evening, because then they knew that I could interact with them, so they started to walk towards us. They were like, do you guys have a phone on you? And that's when I knew that like these aren't just normal people. I asked Frankie if she had a phone. She said no. We could kind of look at each other. It wasn't like we were just like normal people walking around just like them. We had like lots of shopping bags on us because we had like our big splurge out because it had just been close to our birthdays, so we did have a lot of money. Sorry if the camera angle just changed. My card just died, so I had to just delete some files, so the camera angle kind of went a bit iffy. Anyway, as I was saying, we did have quite a few shopping bags on us, so it was obvious that we did have a bit of money, or we had a bit of money, and it was like all our shopping was like worth something. And then they kind of just like kept persisting us for our phone, and like we didn't know what to do because we had never been in this situation before. We didn't know whether to like run, or we didn't know whether to like walk past them, so we just kind of like stood there, and we like obviously we'd never talked, okay, if someone ever comes up to us we're gonna do this, so we were really unsure on what to do. Eventually I kind of just like started to walk away, and then Frankie kind of started to walk away when she saw me walking away, and we just walked fast and didn't turn back. We walked like 10 footsteps and I thought we were away and it was clear, and then I heard them shout behind us, "Oi, give us your phone, we just want to call someone, we just want to see where these people are." And like obviously they weren't just looking for someone, they obviously wanted to have our phone or money or whatever. So we just kept walking and didn't look back. They started to chase us. By like chasing I mean like walking quickly after us because we weren't running. And they like were like walking after us, and we were like, oh my god, we're gonna like die. We then walked around the corner and there was like some people further down who were like dressed really similarly to them, and we thought they were with them, and we thought like these guys had like notified them about us and they were gonna come for us. So we like literally freaked out. The guys were like literally like 5 meters like from like me to like, the other side of my bedroom from us, still shouting for our phones. I did not know what the hell to do. We kept walking and walking, and eventually they kind of trailed off when we went into like this kind of like not back street, but it was like a cobble road with like Starbucks and a corner shop and like little like independent shops on, so it wasn't like a main like sort of things, and they obviously didn't want to go down there, so they kind of like started to back off. But oh my god, like I genuinely thought my phone was a goner, and I thought like I was gonna get stabbed or something. We just kept walking. We did not speak. We like just didn't check our phones, obviously. We didn't turn back. We just kept walking, and eventually they like stopped shouting, and I just presumed that they weren't there anymore. And then we got into the house. Like I was so scared they followed us. I locked all the doors, all the windows, like shut all the curtains. Oh my god, it was the scariest thing ever. Luckily they never came after us, and I've still got my baby phone. Just to show you my camera battery's bad, that's literally on 4% right now, so thank you guys for watching. I'm not lying or anything. I know when a lot of people do these story times, people comment like, oh, you're lying. I genuinely wasn't there. That was a genuine story, and I've got a few others, like about a time I almost drowned, and it's just stuff like that. So if you guys want to hear those ones, give this video a thumbs up, and maybe I'll do one in a couple of weeks. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, remember to click that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!